Is sex more intense for the highly sensitive person? Welcome or welcome back to the HSP Safe Space. This is a little bit uncomfortable to talk about because, well, it's sex. And there's so much shame around this subject. But it is an important part of every adult's life, whether we fully embraced it or denounced it entirely. Awareness of sexual sensitivity is important if you're an HSP or in a relationship with someone who is. In order to talk about how sex might be different for the HSP, it's helpful to distinguish between the physical act of intercourse and the emotional and mental aspect of lovemaking. Intimacy is about feeling safe with someone, a sense of connection with your partner, and feeling safe to be yourself with the other person, to be open and honest with them and trust them to do the same. And passion is more about the fire of the moment. While passion can be a component of affection for one another, it can also be separate. Personally, I've never been able to enjoy the physical act without a deeper connection. Worse even, it feels like a betrayal to my spiritual self. It physically hurts when I experience the emptiness of meaningless, disconnected intercourse. This seems to ring true for most HSPs, male and female. It doesn't mean that HSPs can't enjoy one-night stands or casual sex. It's just that sex is much more enjoyable when there is a deeper connection. I'm curious to hear your opinion on that as well, and maybe it's changed over the course of your life. According to the founder of the term HSP, Dr. Elaine Aron, HSPs are no more likely to have any sexual dysfunction, anxiety, or guilt, but they do find sex to be more mysterious and powerful than non-HSPs. However, past sex experiences can have a greater impact on the HSP's current sex life. Think about traumas. A bad sexual experience can linger for years. Trust issues can also play a big role in how safe the HSP feels with trusting another person to let them in on that deeper level of intimacy. And then there's also the fear of expressing what we want and need. As HSPs, we are highly aware of subtleties in our own bodies, but we're also more in tune with the subtle body language in our partner. We can sense what they enjoy and what they don't based on how their body reacts. It's intuitive for us. This makes for an even deeper connection. The whole experience can feel to an HSP like a spiritual transcendence. It is so much more than a physical act. It's like reaching new depths of existence. It can be plain and simply ethereal. But all this depth and physical as well as spiritual stimulation can of course lead to over-arousal. As with anything, the HSP is easily overwhelmed with sex as well. And we don't generally jump into bed with our partner when we've had too much on our plate that day, because we know we won't be able to give it our all. We need to be in the right frame of mind. Setting the right mood looks different for everyone, as some HSPs might fare better with some background music while others might find it distracting. Or it might just depend on the mood. But one thing's for sure, the HSP is easily distracted. So setting the lighting just right and making sure that there will be no sudden noises goes a long way. It can be difficult to get into the right mindset, and yet so easy to be pulled out of it. Because of our beautiful, delicate souls when approaching an HSP, it's wise to do so in a gentle manner. If you approach an HSP too aggressively, they might just shut down and shut you out. There can be a time and a place for roughness, but in general, it won't do you any favors with the HSP. Furthermore, the intimacy leading up to actual intercourse is often even more powerful as far as connection goes. That's where most of the magic lies. It has very little to do with the height of a climax. And during lovemaking, the HSP is even more sensitive to the touch. Especially when a partner gets into the heat of the moment and speeds up the pace, it can become too intense and even unpleasant. The roughness can desensitize us HSPs and take us out of the moment. A gentle reminder to slow things down can bring it all back without ruining the moment or offending your partner. Communicating your wants and needs during sex can be a difficult thing, especially if you have a sexual trauma in your past. Building trust with your partner and creating a safe space in which you can explore safely and without feeling like your boundaries are being crossed can greatly improve the quality of your intimate sex. After the ethereal transcendence to spiritual realms through intimate sex, getting back to daily life can take a minute. It might be a good idea to allow for a little bit of time to just ease out of it naturally. Quickies have their time and place, but they shouldn't be the norm, or you might just be cutting yourself short of that magic. And then sometimes, there might be tears. If you experience tears after sex, that's very normal for the HSP, and not a sign of displeasure. It's often just an expression of the overwhelming experience of deep connection. Explain this to your partner so that they know there's no need to worry. And just let it happen. Expressing your emotions is always better than keeping it in. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. And let me know in the comments what you struggle with as an HSP or with an HSP in making love. If you wish to support my creator journey, you can do so through the links in the description or in the banner on the upper right corner by clicking on the Buy Me a Coffee link or clicking on my Patreon account. Hope you got some inspiration from this video, and till the next one, Khodafez. So, whatever you do, be gentle out there today.